Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to the webinar on Shure Software Solutions, where we are going to discuss about the software tools that can assist you in managing Shure AV conferencing devices. Let me introduce the team. Today's presenters are Anish Samuel. I'm from the System Applications team at Shure Middle East and Africa. Joining me is Ritendra Podar from the System Applications team, Shure Middle East and Africa. We are the point of contact if you have any technical or design related queries for the Shure Systems 424. So we go on with the ground rules. Today's webinar is on BlueJeans platform. Please select the low bandwidth option to avoid any interruption. We would request you to wear a headphone or earphone for a better quality audio experience. If you experience any issue with the audio, the webinar recording will be shared soon. So not to worry. And participants' video and microphones will be muted. And participants are requested to answer polls that are active during the webinar. Please type your questions in the chat or Q&A box, and we will answer you at the end of the session. So thank you in advance. A little bit about the webinar setup. So the current situation today has forced us to rethink the way that we operate our business. So there is a need for social distancing and remote working strategies to be in place. So as a result, professionals have now turned to AV conferencing to stay connected with colleagues and customers and to operate business without any disruption. So AV conferencing seems to be providing more of a personalized experience, and it serves as the closest alternate to a face-to-face meeting. The messages are conveyed more quicker and concerns are addressed more effectively. So effective communication is therefore a very critical aspect during this trying time. And in order to keep businesses running very smoothly, that effective communication is being reiterated by Shure, who has more than 90 years experience in delivering quality audio products. That we would like to support you in implementing technologies that are effective for communication. So keeping this in mind for the webinar, we have done our home office setup with Shure Motive product line. So right now, I'm having a Shure MV51 microphone connected via USB with my laptop, and I have a headphone and a USB camera connected as well. My colleague Ritendra has a Shure MV5 digital condenser microphone connected via USB with a Shure SRH145 connected and a USB webcam for video. Key features of Motive. The setup is very quick. It supports plug and play. No drivers are required. It is built in with a 3.5 mm headphone jack for expandability. It is compatible with smartphones, PC, and Mac. The DSP is built in. It is with limiter, compressor, and equalizer. So the MV5 has 3 DSP preset modes, which is vocals, flat, and instrument mode, while the MV51 has 5 DSP preset modes, which is singing, speech, flat, acoustic instruments, and loud mode. It offers seamless integration with AV applications and soft codecs like Skype, BlueJeans, Teams, etc. So the Shure MV5 offers flexible mounting option with the microphone standard threading, and also the MV51 offers the same. The MV51 has a durable touchscreen front panel to ensure that the product is having longevity. So today's webinar would be covering the following topics: a quick intro on MXA 310, MXA 910, IntelliMix P300, any USB matrix, followed by the software solution introductions for IMX Room and Designer software. It will be followed by the IMX Room and the Designer software demo, and also a comparison of the audio demo and the comparison of IMX Room and P300. Finally, we'll be showing the SystemsOn asset management software introductions and the demo video for that. So a quick product intro. We touch upon the MXA 310 table array. So we can all agree that a clear organization is a healthy organization, and the organizational clarity mandates focused discussions to be conducted on a regular basis. So in order to conduct that focused discussions, we can offer you the MXA 310, which maximizes audio quality so that the voice comes out very clearly. So how does it work? The MXA 310 integrates smartly into any space, like the boardroom, huddle rooms, multipurpose areas, and you can ensure that the speech is captured accurately and reproduced intelligibly. So with steerable coverage and a low profile design, it removes unnecessary clutter, giving you an even more clarity during meetings. So in terms of connectivity, the MXA 310 offers audio, power over a PoE signal, and the control is also carried via the single Ethernet cable. The audio is routed over Dante, which is a combination of software, hardware, and a network protocol. So it delivers uncompressed, multi-channel, low latency digital audio over a standard Ethernet network, and it uses layer 3 IP packets. So the MXA 310 offers control strings for third-party controllers like AMX, Crestron, Extron, and many other leading brands. Moving on to the MXA 910, which is the ceiling array microphone. It offers you steerable coverage, automatic positioning, and MXA 910 is designed for the ceiling. It provides you with a light bar, which is configurable, and it has a multicolored LED light bar, which shows you the mute status of the microphone. So it can be disabled also if no status indication is required. And there are different color options available like black, white, and aluminum. So the microphone is also paintable to match your corporate branding. Moving on to the IntelliMix P300 audio conferencing processor, we discuss the key benefits. The P300 harnesses the power of the IntelliMix DSP to provide you with a high quality audio in meeting rooms. So it is an ideal complement to the Microflex Advanced, Microflex Wireless, and other Shure microphone systems. So the P300's combination of superior audio performance, flexible connectivity, simple installation, and intuitive setup with the competitive price point is actually unmatched in the industry. What are the key benefits? So it has an IntelliMix DSP. It enhances the performance of MXA, MXW, and MX microphones in conference rooms. So it has a superior audio performance and flexible connectivity. The installation is very simple and the setup is very intuitive and the pricing is very competitive. Last, we discussed the NE-USB. The NE-USB provides actually a high quality audio in meeting rooms where the P300 connectivity and the IntelliMix DSP are not required. So basically for smaller huddle rooms. The key benefits of NE-USB is that it is very simple and it's a low cost solution. It is capable of leveraging IntelliMix powered MXA microphones, and the installation is very simple and straightforward. It has a very low price point. A quick comparison on the P300 and the NE-USB. The P300 is primarily a conferencing product, for medium to large rooms. The addition of IntelliMix to the MXA 910 actually allows the P300 to process multiple MXA 910s for larger spaces. So the P300 has also new features to support like voice lift, mix minus, loudspeaker zoning, and live sound reinforcement, etc., which we have covered in our older webinar topics. So the NE-USB is actually a simple connectivity device for smaller rooms, and it supports mute logic and USB codec mute sync as well. So the software solutions. The Shure is known to offer an impressive and growing portfolio of integrated solutions for AV conferencing applications. So this particular webinar focuses on the different software solutions that can help you design, deploy, and manage the Shure product line. So mainly 3 softwares are being discussed as part of the webinar, which are the IntelliMix Room, the Shure Designer software, and the Shure SystemsOn software. So the first one is IMX Room. IMX Room is actually the first of its kind. It is a licensed-based audio processing software that replaces, the more expensive black box-based DSP options are being replaced because it is a pure software-based conferencing software. And it uses our best-in-class IntelliMix DSP to optimize sound. It expertly mixes high-quality audio across all the channels of in-room Shure networked microphone devices. The IntelliMix Room runs as an exceptionally well-behaved Windows 10 service that replaces your equipment rack completely. So it leverages your investment because it is installed within the in-room conferencing PC that hosts your video conferencing software. So let's touch upon the history of the IntelliMix technology. The Shure's IntelliMix technology has a history of more than like 3 decades. So it was actually developed over time from a pure analog auto mixing to a suite of DSP algorithms, which is optimized for AV conferencing. So in 1992, we launched our first field production automatic mixer with the FP410. So this is a 4-channel mixer that features the Shure's patented IntelliMix circuitry, which activates only microphones that are being addressed. And it minimizes poor quality audio, which is caused by multiple microphones being open and, varying background noise levels. So it minimizes all of that. So in 1996, the first automatic mixer for sound reinforcement and recording with IntelliMix circuitry was developed, which is called the SCM810. The 8-channel version, which is having the direct output connectors. So the SCM810 is the 8-channel version, and SCM410 was also developed like 3 years later. So in 2013, the SCM820 was introduced as a successor to the 810, and IntelliMix was transferred to a digital platform, which is residing within a DSP within the product. So the mixing algorithm also got more and more sophisticated over time, and IntelliMix also gained some backend processing like PEQ, delay, digital feedback reduction, and DFR, etc. So at 2016 and 2018, between 2016 to 2018, IntelliMix was embedded into the P300 conferencing processor and the MXA 910 ceiling array microphone as well. So IntelliMix expanded with the addition of DSP algorithms like AEC, noise reduction, and AGC, etc. So we'll play a short video on the IMX room introductions, and we'll come back.
You're on mute. There's an echo. Can you say that again? What? We're having trouble hearing. You're cutting out. There's an echo. You're really quiet. Echo. Sounds staticky. Sorry, I was on the connection. So that was the intro video. So what are the target markets for IMX Room? So we'll have a quick look. The target markets for IMX Room are as followed. Like, we are targeting the small to large, medium, or conference rooms, boardrooms, and in some cases, we are also targeting the classrooms or training rooms that are used for distance learning activities. The target customer profile for IMX rooms are actually forward-thinking system integrators or consultants and AV IT professionals. So the system integrators and consultants have specific needs and expectations, which are like reaching out to more customers
with reduced effort per customer, and efficiency in design and installation, scalability to adapt to the best to a room's given size, and also the speed in which a particular setup is done. The next is the AV IT professionals. They are also interested in scalability, while their primary needs are like vendor consolidation, the fast implementation of the product, and availability, the simple repeatability in installation and commissioning, and they also want to manage and service the software remotely. So why the customer wants an IMX room? So IMX room brings the Shure audio experience in a room with a software codec, without having to purchase and install unnecessary boxes. And customers will have a consistent audio experience across small integrated rooms of all sizes. The IntelliMix room is offered at a competitive price point, and it is often less expensive than the hardware codecs. And it runs on the same in-room PC as the software codec. The customer, they don't have to purchase expensive PCs and extra cables that are normally needed for installing hardware codec. The next key point is security, which is always a key customer concern. And IMX room has Shure's network audio encryption in place. So it helps protect audio between the microphone and the DSP. So it has been tested and proven to be compatible with all third-party Dante-enabled microphones. And it is the first audio solution that features full encryption on all the microphone inputs. How customers will be using the IMX room? So IntelliMix room provides a consistent and a premium audio experience to the software codec for all room sizes. All that the customer is required to do is that he needs to add a in-room PC with a third-party conferencing codec installed on the PC, and we are good to go. So IntelliMix room is installed directly to this in-room PC along with the video conferencing software, and you can add Dante-enabled microphones, speakers, and other VC equipments like the camera, display monitors, and the customer will have a fully operational room for an enhanced conferencing experience. So how IMX room fits into the Shure ecosystem? The IMX room is fully integrated with the Shure software ecosystem. So the designer software is actually required to activate and configure the IntelliMix room once it has been installed on the in-room PC. So the designer software allows you to do the planning work way ahead of time. So it helps you to deploy a secure encrypted solution in real time, also with the push of a button. So it is ideal that the designer should be installed on a second PC or a commissioning laptop, for the optimal workflow experience. And this would ensure that you can configure the IMX room from anywhere in your network. And also you can work more effectively throughout all the project stages. So IntelliMix room is also compatible with Shure Microflex Advanced and the Microflex wireless microphones. So it is also compatible with Shure audio network interfaces, like for scenarios where you need additional input or output, etc. What are the key features of IMX room? The IMX room features the best-in-class AEC, noise reduction, AGC, and automatic mixing, that is available in our IntelliMix DSP. It is a licensed DSP software that is scalable to 8 or 16 channels, and it features logic LED sync with Shure Microflex wireless microphones. So you can use the PC input-output channel with the IntelliMix room to utilize the audio peripherals of the host computers, like the HDMI output that goes to the display, or the 3.5 mm input-output, or the Bluetooth connectivity. So the custom Windows audio driver is actually the pivotal component that allows IMX room to run on the same computer, that is same as the video conferencing codec is running. So this minimizes the hardware integration points within the AV system. So how to get IntelliMix room? So customers can actually order IntelliMix room through their local sales channels alongside other Shure hardware products. And customers can set up an account at software.shure.com. And once they log in, they can download the IMX room and Designer software from their user account. So please note that Designer is a free software, and it is required to activate and configure the IntelliMix room. You need Designer to activate and configure the IntelliMix room. So users can also access licensing information such as inventory, license ID or end user license agreement, etc., from their user account. So there are different licensing options available for IntelliMix room. There's an 8-channel license, which is ideal for small to medium integrated rooms. And there is a 16-channel license option available for medium to large conference room. The 8 and 16-channel licenses have a 3 and a 5-year subscription terms, and it requires a continuous internet connection. The 16-channel trial licenses are also available for customers, who wish to test out the IMX room. Like trial licenses are also required to have a continuous internet connection, and it can remain active for a 90-day, subscription term. So all licenses include an additional 8 Dante input and output channels. So one thing to note is that a license cannot be split apart or aggregated, meaning that a user cannot combine like 2 8-channel licenses in a single 16-channel license. So installing IntelliMix room, the IntelliMix room should be installed on the same computer that a video conferencing codec will be running. And the operating system should be like Windows 10 64-bit. The processor must be a 64-bit Intel processor with 4 physical cores and minimum i5 1.9 gigahertz configuration. The memory must be at least 8 gigabytes, and it must be installed on a physical machine. So IMX room will not operate on a virtual machine as of now, and we would recommend a solid state drive for storage. Positioning IntelliMix rooms. So now let's take a look at the Shure portfolio of products for AV conferencing, which features the NE USB matrix, IntelliMix P300, and the IntelliMix room. So when you compare the room size, the NE USB matrix is for small rooms, the P300 is for large rooms, and the IMX room is also scalable to small to large rooms. If you compare the hardware or soft codec, any USB matrix can support both. The P300 can support both, while IMX room supports the software codec only for the time being. So BYOD versus being an in-room asset, the any USB matrix at the IntelliMix P300 can be used, it can be used in conjunction with other devices or as an in-room asset. The IMX room is an in-room asset that can be operating in the same room PC as the video conferencing codec. But the any USB matrix and the P300 can work on a Windows and a Mac platform, while IMX room operates only on the Windows 10 platform. So when you compare one mic versus multiple microphones, the any USB matrix can handle one microphone, while the P300 and IntelliMix room can handle multiple microphones. So like the P300, IMX room is also scalable from small to large rooms. And something that makes IMX room more unique is that it is a software application that installs and operates in the same room PC, and it also runs as a Windows 10 service. Okay, now let's look at the feature sets of the NE USB matrix and the IntelliMix P300. So in terms of connectivity, the NE USB matrix have 4 Dante inputs and 2 outputs, 1 analog input and output, and 1 USB input and output. The IntelliMix P300 has 10 Dante inputs and 8 outputs. It has 2 analog inputs and outputs, 1 USB input and output, and 1 input and output for mobile device connectivity. IMX room has 16 or 24 channel Dante inputs and 8 Dante outputs. The PC in-out has 1 input and output, and it includes 1 virtual audio driver with 1 input and 1 output. If you see the AEC reference, the NE USB does not support an AEC reference. The P300 has single AEC reference channel, and IntelliMix rooms features individual AEC reference channels across all channels. So it's actually a plus. And auto mixer, when you compare auto mixer, the NE USB matrix does not have an auto mixer, and the IntelliMix P300 does feature an
auto mixer, and IMX room has advanced auto mixers that can give you additional features like post gate, gain, mute, and solo controls. So when you compare direct outputs, the any USB matrix does not feature any direct outputs, while the P300 has 8 direct outputs, and IMX room can give you 8 or 16 outputs. The mute sync is supported on the any USB matrix and the P300. The IMX room currently offers mute sync with Zoom rooms with version 4.6. And internet connection is required for license verification, only for the IMX rooms. And the any USB matrix and the P300 are hardware codecs that does not require an internet connection. To summarize, IMX room is Shure's optimized DSP software that enables rapid and easy deployment of Shure solutions into more rooms. So it saves you installation time and cost on labor. So it is actually priced in a way to help support you in with both new or existing clients. So the solution is in sync with rapidly evolving AV IT trends, which are current as you see currently, like the work from home and software-based codec strategy. Moving on to the designer software. So the designer software can help you design, deploy, and manage Shure products such as MXA 910, MXA 310, P300, any USB matrix, and IMX rooms. So we'll play a quick video on designer software introductions. Right. So the products that are included in Designer are as followed. The Designer 4.1 supports products such as the MXA 910 ceiling array, the MXA 310 table array microphones, the IntelliMix P300 audio processor, the any USB matrix, and the IntelliMix room software DSP solution. So key features of the Designer. The major benefit of using Designer 4.1 is that you can now configure Shure's devices directly from the software. So there is no need to go to each individual product's web UI to configure. So you can perform a system level feature check such as Dante routing for supported devices. You can also create location templates that can be reused across multiple rooms that have the same design.
So the user doesn't have to wait for a room to become available so as to do the designing. And it will help you to design and deploy accurate audio coverage from a meeting room or a collaboration space by identifying where the audio sources are located within the room. For example, when you can see around the table where people are sitting, or you can see the part of the room where presenters need to speak to a presentation screen. So all this can be identified. And you can model meeting rooms and collaboration spaces that can either be used as templates for other identical spaces, or you can use location presets for multipurpose rooms. The users can save on design time as floor plans and reference images can be imported onto the designer. The Designer 4.1 will allow the users to create templates, and it can be repeated or for other designs as well. So it saves a lot of time and it creates consistency in the room designs. So it will allow the Designer 4.1 will allow full configuration of the MXA 910 ceiling array, the MXA 310, the P300, the IntelliMix audio conferencing processor, and any USB matrix, along with the IntelliMix room software DSP solution. So it can also be used for virtual and online devices within a room. And it can also be enabling users to route audio between Shure products that are supported. So for example, in this particular slide, we can see that the system designer has routed two MXA 910s to a P300. So in effect, designer software offers more precise control of design. So you can plan ahead with floor plans, produce more and identify mistakes more easily. You can shorten design cycles and improve the quality of project deliverables. So as we dive a bit deeper into the designer software, we must remember the following features, like the user will be able to configure Shure products that are being used in a meeting room or collaboration space. And they'll be able to organize larger installation of multiple MXA 910s, 310s, and the P300 USB matrix and the IntelliMix room DSP softwares. So they'll be able to set up multiple room designs online or offline. And it can be later applied on site as well. So the user will be able to share project files with others when he needs to, and he should be able to save designer files and use them as backups for installed projects, as and when the need arises. So with simple configuration, there is zero additional programming between Shure software and the hardware. The user can create and reuse templates for multiple projects. So there are no licensing requirements for the Designer 4.1. The product is a free download, and at the present time, Designer works only for Windows. And if you have any issues with the software, you can always, call us or reach the customer service helpline. So how to install and activate an IMX room or Designer software? I will play a small video on that.
How to download Designer. In order to download Designer, you'll go to software.shure.com. Once you log in with your email and password, you'll see the software you're entitled to. If you get to the License and Delivery portal and do not see Designer available to be downloaded under Your Downloads, you can request a version of Designer by going to the Activation and Entitlement tab and selecting Register for Trial. Once you click Register for Trial, you'll see the Available Products for Trial screen. You'll click on Designer and then click on Register. You then click the Home tab and it will take you back to the License and Delivery portal. You'll now see Designer available in the Recent Entitlements box. You then click the Downloads tab and select List Downloads. You'll see Shure Designer. It may take a few seconds for it to show up. Click on Designer Software and it will take you to the Download Packages page. Click on Designer and it will take you to the Software Terms and Conditions page. Once you select I agree for the end user license agreement, it will take you back to the Downloads page and you can now select setup.exe for the Designer software. This will download the setup file to your computer and you're ready to install Designer.
So with that, I'll hand over the floor to Riten, who will be taking you through the demo of the Designer and the IMX room. Thank you, and I'll join you shortly.
Thanks, Anish. Thanks for covering the theory part of the session. Now let's move to the software demo. Hello, everyone. I'm Riten. I'm a senior application engineer from Shure, and I'll run the complete demo and workflow of Designer in addition to IMX Room. So to have an efficient demo, we have done two setups, and the setups are like that. So the setup one is with our MXA310 table array microphone. The audio, Dante audio from 310 is going to go to our IntelliMix P300 DSP. And the P300 DSP is having USB connection to connect with the laptop. So that's going to be the first setup. The second setup is this one. So we are having IMX Room installed in another PC. And that PC is also having BlueJeans event running. So the PC is having IMX Room and BlueJeans event. The audio is coming through MXA's 910 ceiling array microphone. It's via Dante. And then we'll be using SDM. I have used SDMI connection to connect the LCD screen to have the display and having headphone to listen the far end, of course. Now, to give you a complete visualization of the installation, this is the setup. Here you can see we have ceiling array microphone, MXA 910 here, MXA 310. There is a PC Intel NUC that's installed with IMX Room, and I'm having my P300 at the back behind the laptop. And right now what you're hearing is Shure Motive MV5. Okay, so once the demo starts, once I'm done with the setup, which I'm going to show you via Designer, and then after I'll switch to 310 and 910, and you will experience the audio quality via having two different DSP what we can offer from Shure. Okay, so let me go to the next page to start the Designer software. There we go. So this is the Designer software, and I believe you saw the video which explains how to install the Designer software via software.shure.com. You need to have your account. You need to enter your email address and all. So this is the main page of Designer software. Okay, I'm just going to explain what all tools it is having. So first one is My Project on the left pane, where you create a new project. You can import project if you already worked on Designer before. So I'll explain everything later. The second tab is Template, where you say if you're having a typical room for your project, and almost all the rooms are having 1310 with P300 or maybe any USB with MXA 910. So you can make your own template. So rather than just working on each individual room, you can utilize this template to make your work time efficient. Like you can immediately do the job if you're having the pre-configured template. The third tab is online devices. So that's going to show what all Shure online devices you are having in your network. Make sure you are on the same network like what you're having with other microphone from Shure. So your Designer has to be on the same network. The fourth tab is Event Log. In Event Log, you see the device activity. So if you can see here, I was definitely using this system over here in my home office. So sometime device went online on offline because I was doing some kind of trial and a test. So you can have the log file from here. You can export the log from here. You can clear all event to monitor better if you want to point on a specific issue, right? And then the fifth one is setting. Over here, you need to define, when you install Designer Open for the first time, it asks for your organization name, organization URL, what network you are using. Are you on wired network or the wireless? You can also set the event log history, like for how long you want to have the history to be stored in the system. And of course, if you get any kind of error or warning or any kind of errors, you can definitely send the diagnostic report or to us. So for that, you need to tick over here. So let's move to the first one, my project. So as I said, that we are gonna show you the setup, two different setup like this one. So let's work on this. There we go. So I'm going to create a project, and that's going to be the workflow for you as well to configure Designer. So I will create a project, Shure webinar, and then I'll create a location where I'm going to put different Shure microphones with DSP. So the first one is going to be MXA 310 with P300 DSP. Create. Once you create, you get this page. This is the page where you're going to work. So right now you are in offline mode. You can see 4 online devices, but this is the page, this is the tab which you need to click to be on live mode. So you can work with the online devices. But I'm going to explain how to work in offline mode, because say if the room is not ready and you need to basically work offsite to configure, to understand what exactly you need to do at this on the site. So you can work offline and then you can go to the site and shift to live mode to work online with the devices. So as said, this project is for MXA 310 with P300 DSP. So I'm going to select this and drop here. As you can see, there are 5 different devices showing here: any USB, IMX Room, MXA 910, 310, and P300. It supports these 5 Shure network devices. Yeah, IMX Room is the new IntelliMix software DSP, what you learned from Anish. Okay, now as I said, I'm going to have IntelliMix P300 with this setup. So I have taken this. Fine, I dragged it over here. Now, here is the coverage map. And coverage map is for MXA 910 only to know the lobe configuration, where exactly you're placing the lobes and all. So I'm going to show you this page, this tab later with MXA 910. But let's move to the third tab, that's signal flow. So as you have MXA 310 and P300, what you need to do, you need to route the audio signal from 310 to P300. And there are 2 ways. You can manually do this by dragging and putting to the point wherever you want to do. Just to let you know, when you do this, it routes the audio through Dante. So you don't need to use Dante controller software when you use our Designer software. So it's just one single platform to do everything. So this is one way. So I'm going to delete this to show the second way. You can also do auto route. When you click on auto route, it will say select your microphone and processor. So I'm selecting microphone, I'm selecting 310, and then this option enables route option. So you click on route and will automatically route first 4 channels of 310 to P300. Why first 4? Because first 4 channels are independent polar pattern from 310. And fifth one is the mix of all 4 polar pattern, which you learned in our previous session. So I will explain it again, but for now, this is how it's going to route. It is not going to take auto mix output, because auto mix output is basically the mix of first 4 channel. And when you have DSP, you can utilize the DSP processing for individual channel, which is much better. right? Now, the second option, what you see here is optimize. Optimize audio is basically the recommended setting if you use MXA 310 with P300. Yeah, so I'm going to click this and show you what happens. When you click on this, the 310 and P300 will automatically configure to themselves. The benefit, you don't need to think a lot because we know how exactly our microphone and DSP behaves and work. So we have given the best what you can use in terms of configuration, right? So what all are the changes setting? You can see here, view list of change setting. You click here and you will see this page. That's basically the settings, what happens when you select the optimized audio setting. So here P300 with MXA 310, if you use P300 with MXA 910, system itself understand. If you use IntelliMix room with MXA 310 or IntelliMix room with 910, and it says what's going to be the setting. So maximum, I'm just giving a couple of examples here. Maximum channel input gain will change to 5 dB. AGC is going to have the target level at -32, and for example, here auto mix out parametric EQ filter will be disabled. So these are the settings which you can see when you use the designer. So I'm not gonna go to each individual options here, just to explain like what kind of setting changes happen when you apply optimize audio. So let's go here and configure. It takes some time and says optimization is done. Now you want to do some more configuration. For example, MXA 310, what you can do, you just double click. Okay, so when you double click, you get the page to configure the table array microphone. And if you are familiar with our Shure products, you must be knowing about the web GUI access of MXA 310. Now we are basically we are offering you additional configuration tool. That's going to be the designer tool. So right now it's on toroid pattern. And if you saw the picture of my home setup, I'm sitting just in front of the microphone. So I don't need omnidirectional microphone. I need cardioid microphone, which is going to point on this side, right? So this is going to be pointing on me. You can steer the polar pattern. If I want to pick up from 90 degree of angle from my voice, you can do that. You can steer it anywhere, right? You can add channels. You can add up to 4 channels. So basically if you see here, we have used 4 channels. So you are having the capability of using 4 channels. I'm going to just delete other channels because I'm just alone here and I can easily be picked up by 1 channel. But still, you know what? Let's keep 2 on both sides. Yeah. So this is going to be my setting for 310. Now it is having the global low cut filter setting here. Then you have channels. Here you can do the parametric EQ setting. What I will do, I will just do the configuration first and give you the audio experience with the raw pickup from the microphone. And if requires, I'm going to change some kind of EQ setting to improve the audio intelligibility. Here is the auto mixer setting. As we are not using the auto mixer, we are just using independent channels. So no point of changing here because that affects on the auto mix output. Now, few more settings. If you click on this setting tab button over here, you get the name. So if you want to have different name of MXA 310, you can use here. Here is the network. If you want to configure manual IP address, you can select and configure the manual IP. It shows the firmware. Right now it's in offline mode, so you cannot do anything. Here is the light setting. You want to have the segment. So I configure 2 polar patterns, so it's going to show like this. You want to have the full ring, you can do that. You can change the brightness. You can turn off the LED blinking of RJ45 connection. You can change mute and mute color. So for example, I want to keep unmute color as turquoise and mute color as orange. So I did that. Now here is the logic control. So as we were discussing that if you use Shure ecosystem, and over there you have Shure MXA 310 and P300, you can also do mute sync. So I'm going to demo mute sync here. So local is basically to control the microphone locally, but if you want to use the mute sync, you click on logic out and that's it. So that's all the setting in 310, which I did. Now let's move to P300. In P300, this is the configuration page, schematic page of P300. Here, as said, we have given Dante input number 1, 2, 3, 4 from MXA 310. You want to enable parametric EQ, you can enable by setting up. So let's do this. So I will keep this as high pass and low pass filter. I copy and you can paste in this. Yeah. So let's do this. There is other way. You right click, copy setting, and you select and paste as well. Now AEC, I'll explain AEC in a few minutes. AEC is having the option to select the reference channel. So technically you should have the reference what you want to have the audio through the speaker, right? So analog to a speaker is already defined. It's having nonlinear processing. I keep on low for now. Okay, and I copy the setting and route to all 4 AEC. This is noise reduction. Right now it's on low. This is AGC. For a time being, I'm going to disable it just to show you the change. So I copy and paste here. This is the auto mixer where you need to have the configuration to get the better intelligibility from the microphone. If you have attended our last week webinar, we were talking about gated auto mixer, gain sharing auto mixer, right? And here you see it is showing mic optimization mode, the 310. We also have 910 if you use with that. Couple of changes in auto mixer. What I will do to improve the intelligibility, we don't need maximum open channels to 8. Let's keep 2. Leave last mic lock on. And if you have seen the webinar last week, we recommend to have of attenuation somewhere near to the room ambient noise, so -40, and hold time to 800. So I did that. Okay. Here it is all about post-processing post-gate, post-processing pre-gate, pre-processing pre-gate. So say if I did that. Now, when we talk about the AEC over here, AEC is going to be, if suppose the call is connected via USB and mobile and through analog video conferencing codec. So these 3 outputs, input number 11, 13, and 14 needs to go to the speaker. And you can see that. If you see, this is the matrix mixer page. And if you see, this is analog to codec and analog to a speaker, right? And over here you see analog from codec, USB input, and mobile output are going to there. And we have defined the AEC reference to analog to a speaker. So we are done. We are done with the setup. Now let's move to another topic, which is the mute sync. Now you want to have the mute sync with MXA 310. So for that, you need to just go to Input tab and click on Logic Enable. Once you're done, you're all set. Now it's time to upload this setting to MXA 310 and P300. So simple. What you do, you just go to Overview page and you click on Live Mode. Let's see what happens. Okay. So when you clicked on Live Mode, you don't see anything online here. And there is a reason, and there was a purpose of showing this way. So when you reset and when you use the system for the first time, it needs to be initialized. So if you see here, all 4 Shure devices are new. We detected new devices on your network, initialize the device to configure. So when you click on initialize the device, that's the first task what you do when you have the online devices, and click initialize. It will initialize and bingo. Now let's go to the project, what we were working on, and live mode, and you can see all 4 microphones. As we have used MXA 310, you can, if suppose you have more than one 310, you can click on ID here and it will start blinking. You can find out, okay, this is the microphone which I need to use for this project. So you select, drag and drop to 310. So basically you associated your offline program with MXA 310, and then I will do the same thing for P300. Once that is done, you select this and you click on synchronize. Synchronize is having push to device. So whatever you did in offline mode, you can push to the online devices. And if you have the previous setting, you can pull to design that all as well. So I'm going to just click on push to device, and it will send the settings, what you did in 310 and P300. Yeah, I can see my LED color has changed to turquoise. Done. Now, to understand if it is working well, so the configuration is done, pushed already, and I was explaining about mute sync. So right now it's in mute mode and auto mixer is muted. Let me just touch my microphone. There we go. The color changed to turquoise to MXA310. I can show that as well. So this is the online. Yeah, so it's turquoise, and when you press mute, it changes to orange color. And let me show you. It's muted. Yeah, so I'm gonna just keep this setting for now. And now let's move to our next setup. So let's close this, and I will go to the project again and click create a new location. And here is gonna be MXA 910 with IMX room. IMX room. Okay, that's the new project. And again, I'm in offline mode. What I will do, I will drag IMX room. Now it will ask what license you have, 8 channel or 16 channel. Right now I have 16 channels. So I'm gonna click on 16 channel and click next. You clearly, I believe you understood the license process, the way it works. We have basically 2 different licenses. One is for 8 channel and second one is for 16 channel. And both the options give you 3 year and 5 years of access. Reason of limiting 3 year and 5 year, it's pretty much simple. If you talk about any PC, the usual lifetime for one PC is 3 years. So we don't want to give the license for more than 3 years because anyway, you're going to change the PC. And the second one, if we talk about the installation business, one system means PC usually will change in 5 years. So we are giving both options. Yeah, it's with Windows only. So now let's talk about IMX room. IMX room is dragged. Now I will use 910. Here we go. So it's in offline mode. What I will do here, I'm going to show you with online mode. So I'm going to click on live mode and it will show the available devices. As you have paired 310 and P300, it is not going to show here. So you drag 910 here and drop, you drag and drop IMX room here. If you see there is a red warning, what is that? It is saying that ensure that this installation is added to a project, then activate it in the project license tab. So of course you are using IMX room, but it is not licensed yet. So I will also show you how to activate the license. But for now, let's do the configuration. Now I'm going to go to coverage map. Here is my microphone. This is the out-of-box lobe configuration. As you have seen my setup, I don't need 8 lobes. So I'm going to delete unnecessary lobe from here. So it was slightly slow. Just deleting unnecessary lobe. I just need 2 lobes. One on my seat and second one on my couch. So, okay, so there is one. I'm gonna just rotate this. There we go. So this is how my microphone is placed. Now you can also add room image. I don't have my room image, but I'm having something to show. So you can add the room layout. So say I'm having this room layout. When you drag the room layout, you need to draw a scale to basically scale the image. So here, if you see, there is a scale given here. So 1 meter is this. So what I will do, I'll go to orthogonal mode and draw a line. That's 1 meter. I click 1 meter, hit enter. So the image is scaled. Sorry, that was fit. So that's my bad. I need to redraw the scale. So this is 1 meter. Here. And image is scaled. You can utilize this pencil icon to crop the image if requires. You can zoom out and extend and that's it. So this is one. Now consider I'm sitting here. The microphone is installed in the center and one lobe is pointing on me. So what I can do, I select this. I don't need the size of lobe. I can put it narrow because I'm very close to the microphone. And the second one is on my couch. So here we go. Yeah, so this is going to be my configuration, for example. Basically, when you're having the actual layout, you can exactly point to the seats. Right now, I was just showing you how to import them. Okay. Now, you can also do auto lobe configuration, which I will explain later. So this is suppose your microphone. Now you need to do the routing. So again, auto route, or what you can do, you can manually put this. Yeah, and microphone is routed over there. Loops are routed here. Now let's look on, you can also do optimize audio, which I'm not showing because we have shown this in 310. Double click and you get the option of Web GUI. Now, if I want to configure my lobe on me exactly, I can select the lobe and click on auto position and speak for a few seconds. The microphone will try to listen me and it will assign the lobe to exact place coordinates. Right now, once that is done, you can go to channel setting. You can add a couple of dB, for example, 5 dB, and this lobe 7 dB. IntelliMix page is having option of AEC, noise reduction, parametric. That's the mix of it. Here you can have the auto mix setting, as I explained. Better to keep -40 and 800. It sounds much better. Okay, so that's all about the setting here in 910. Now let's go to IMX room. As we are talking about software-based conferencing DSP, this is the page for IMX room. This is much wider and giving more option than IntelliMix P300. So there are two microphones configured here. It's having 16 channels, but if you see on outside, it's showing warning because the license is not activated yet. So you need to activate the license to enable the output side. Of course, you can route the input, but it's a license-based software DSP. You need to have the license. You can order through our distributor and you get the license ID, which you need to enter in designer software. So I'm going to show you, I'm having my license ID. I will use it. So I click on go to license. When you click on this, it's going to go through this wizard. So click next. Then it will say you're going to activate IntelliMix room. Click this one. And then you select this and click on activate. When you click on activate, it will ask for license ID. Now, what's the license ID? You'll be having your own license ID. I'm having mine. I hit on read terms and agreement and activation pending. It will take few seconds and it will try to find out IntelliMix room, which is installed in my second PC, which I'm going to share and show you what exactly you get. And bingo, the license is activated. And see on the output side, you don't see that warning message, and audio is coming out to Dante output number 1 and virtual audio output. Now I will quickly jump to the next machine to show you how does the IntelliMix room looks like in the machine where you're going to have the Blue Jeans or Zoom codec or maybe Teams, Microsoft Teams codec installed. So to show you, just be with me. There we go. So this is the machine, what you see, which is having the IntelliMix room installed. Okay, now where will you see IntelliMix room software codec, software DSP? It's here. Once you install, it goes over here. Double click and you will see IntelliMix room software DSP. That's it. This is all what you see in your PC, which is gonna run the audio for your soft codec. Basic tab, general, network. It's gonna tell you what is the control for Shure, network IP address for control, and for Dante. It's gonna be same because it's a machine, what version you're running in, your license, your PC info, audio encryption, whether it is enabled or not, that's all, right? So that's it. This is the IntelliMix room software DSP in your machine. Now I will go back to the configuration page. Okay, so this is the machine where the designer working. You can have designer in any machine if it is on the same network, and then you can utilize IntelliMix room of other machine. So microphone number 1 and 2 are going to the auto mix output of automixer, and then that goes to virtual audio output. Virtual audio output of IntelliMix room is basically the audio microphone in and out, what you see in IMX in your conferencing codecs. So this is virtual audio output. Now you are also required to have the virtual audio output input, which is the far end audio. And far end audio, if you want to hear through PC output, what you need to do, you go to Matrix Mixer, and in Matrix Mixer, you need to use virtual audio input, which is the far end, to route on PC output. Yeah. Why? Because this is going to be the virtual from the codec. Now, the codec audio you want to listen through the speaker or maybe the headphone. So what is the headphone or PC output? That's the PC output here. So you need to route it to here. When you route it over here, you will see the signal here. But that's not it. You also need to select what source of output you have. Right now, I'm having my display, which is having built-in speaker. You want to listen through the speaker, or you want to listen through the headphone. So I have selected headphone right now. Now here is the benefit. Now consider you have a small room connected with MXA 310 and you are running Zoom call or maybe Skype for business, whatever, right? And you have the local speaker in the room. If you take the HDMI output from the machine to your display, so you can only hear through the display audio. But what if you want to have the external speaker? That becomes challenging. You need audio extractor, which extract the audio from HDMI and then you feed to the local speaker. But with the help of with the help of IMX Room, you can just go to the software in Matrix Mixer. You can use virtual audio output to be played via PC output. And then you can use PC output to connect with your external speaker because the audio is coming through PC output, not through HDMI. HDMI is just going to take the display. Right? So that's the benefit of having IMX Room, which you can also consider of. It is having AEC, noise reduction AGC like before, like P300, it's having total 24 Dante inputs. Out of 24, 16 are with audio processing, AEC. You can also have the direct output. So you can also think about having the voice lift kind of setup because it offers you direct output. So you can do mix minus. Now I will do a couple of configuration to make it better. So I'm going to add parametric EQ just with high pass and low pass, and I'll copy this setting and paste to other channels. AEC is always going to be the far end. So far end is your virtual audio input. So here, say low processing, copy and paste to other channel. Noise reduction, I will just for time being disable AGC and gonna keep to other 4 channels. Now talking about auto mixer, I'll do the same thing what I have explained before. Here I will keep the off attenuation to -40, hold time to 800, and maximum open channels to 2. That's my auto mixer setting. It is already going over here to virtual output. So that means it is going to my software-based conferencing codec, which is BlueJeans Prime for now. So I'm done with that. You can also do mute sync if you have Zoom or Microsoft Teams. So you just need to click on logic enable. The moment you click the mute button on Zoom, it will mute MXA9. It basically doesn't mute MXA910. It mute to auto mixer of IntelliMix Room. So audio is always going to feed to AEC block to maintain the AEC convergence. So that's all about it over here. As I was in online mode, so I don't need to push the configuration because I was working online. So it was changing at the same time, instantly the time I was doing. Now I'll show you what is showing in the IntelliMix Room, how exactly the IntelliMix Room shows in software codec. So for that, I'm going to share this screen of my IntelliMix Room PC. Over here, I'm pretty much sure you can see this screen. And here, audio setting, I'm going to keep my microphone as default IntelliMix Room echo canceling speakerphone, right? That's my IntelliMix room virtual audio. And output, you have the option, the speaker with PC screen, with LCD screen, or IntelliMix room. And here you have defined to hear through the headphone. So that's it. Once you're done, so let's hear to this. I'm going to stop sharing. And let's hear to the 310. So as said, we have two setup now in this project. One is MXA 910 with IMX room. Second one is MXA 310 P300 DSP. So let's hear to it. So first, what I will do, I'll share my screen. This time, this. Okay. And here I will change this microphone. Right now it is having Shure MV5. I'm going to change it to Shure P300, which is offering MXA 310 audio via USB. So I did this, and my headphone is this. So I switched to MXA 310. Yeah, so this is right now you're not hearing my Shure MV5 microphone. I cannot hear it, so I cannot say, but what I can do, if I need any adjustment in audio quality, I can go to MXA 310. Yeah, I can be at the far end, I can access the microphone online, and if I need anything, any changes required, if I need to apply PEQ, I will just use the designer software. So right now, polar pattern number 1 is picking up to me. I will drag to other place. So now the polar pattern is not on me, it's off axis. So hopefully it's going to have the different intelligibility compared to if I drag it over here. Yeah, you need some adjustment in parametric EQ. You can go to P300 configuration page. In P300, you want to adjust some, you want to EQ it. So what I can do, I can just maybe add a little bit of low end to my voice. I can add a little bit of high end to my voice to make it better and clearer. So it depends on the room, and of course you need to hear it to do this. I cannot hear my voice right now, so I cannot say, but hopefully it is sounding clear. So the demo, what you are hearing right now is MXA 310 with IntelliMix P300 DSP. Okay, now I will switch to MXA 910 with IntelliMix Room DSP. For that, I'm going to mute this microphone and unmute my IntelliMix Room PC, which is running with MXA 910. So for that, let me stop sharing and start sharing. Okay, so there we go. So right now, what you're hearing is MXA 910 via IntelliMix Room. So setting here, you have IntelliMix Room configured as microphone input and this one, right? Now, I will switch back. If you want to do more configuration, let me just stop sharing and go to designers of PC. There we go. Now you want adjustment in MXA 910, for example. So this is the room. What you're hearing is MXA 910 with IMX room. Double click and this project is open. It takes some time. You want to do some lobe adjustment. You can click on configure. You will see MXA 910 configuration page. Now here, right now it's picking up from lobe number 1. As we explained in our previous webinar that it supports autofocus. So if I move my head. So I'm moving and it will automatically sense from where the voice is coming in and it picks up to my voice. I move near to my couch, see the lobe is gonna move and adjust itself to give better audio pickup. Same if I go to my couch, I go and then that will pick up from lobe number 2. So autofocus is always trying to track the audio voice of the talker, right? I will just move this lobe to show you the difference. So right now, let's move these lobes. So see, I don't have any lobe assigned on me, and this is how it is sounding. Hopefully, it is not clear like before. I cannot hear myself, but you definitely understand if the lobe is not pointing on you, it's going to have different audio pickup. It's going to sound muffled. So it is always recommended to have the lobe towards a talker with a proper configuration. So this is what you see. You want to adjust the audio. For example, you want to improve the audio quality. You can go here, of course, IntelliMix room. Now, as I cannot hear right now, so I cannot do much, but this page of IMX room will offer you to configure the parametric EQ to improve the intelligibility. My voice is slightly thinner than normal voice, so I can give a little bit of low end and adjust, and that improves the intelligibility. Okay, so that's all about in terms of listening to this. I'm going to switch back to my Shure MV5. Okay, so I believe you can hear me. Now, this is what you do in terms of configuring MXA 910 with IMX Room. Now, talking about a couple of more things, what we can explain here about is encryption. So if you have attended our webinar, which we did a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the security. Consider you have MXA 910 or 310 in the room and connected with software-based conferencing DSP like our IMX room or IntelliMix P300, and the audio is not encrypted. Smart IT guy can just take that audio using his Dante virtual sound card installed in their PC, and audio is not secure. And it is very important to secure the audio in the network, because these kind of microphones are mostly getting used in meeting room, boardroom, and conference room where the confidential discussion happens. So what you can do, you can enable the encryption with the help of designer software itself. What do you need to do? You just click on enable encryption. It will ask whether you want to auto generate the encryption or you want to have the manual. Let's keep manual to see, and you can mention encryption page for phrase. So retain, so I give encryption passphrase, I enabled. So it will ask retain 123. That's my password, and I enabled. So you can see there is a lock icon now. So audio is encrypted. Now if someone is coming with their own Dante virtual sound card software or any other DSP and want to route the audio, they cannot do it because the audio is synced between this microphone, MXA 910 and IMX room. So audio is secured. Nobody can have the audio out from anywhere else with this kind of setup. So it enables the security, which is very important if the audio is running on the network. Okay. Coverage map explained already, signal flow explained already. Yeah. So yeah, most important other thing which I just remembered, presets. So if you did any configuration, you can save up to 10 different presets. So having that, suppose you are having a room with multiple seating arrangement, multiple type of seating arrangement. One day like a conference room, second day like a meeting room, third day like a boardroom. So you want to have the different presets, different lobe configuration, right? So with the help of designer, you can save preset. So suppose the configuration what I did is my meeting room layout. Yeah, and you can save it. So that's one. Now what you have, suppose you have different lobe configuration. Suppose you want to keep it this way, you want to add more lobes, you can add channels, you can route it wherever you need, you can delete as well from here. These grids are basically to help you to position the microphone correctly. If you don't like, you can also you can disable the grid. You can show the grid. You don't want to snap to grid because it's always going to fall in that grid blocks. So you don't want to have the snap. You want to keep in the middle of these two grid. You can do as well, which is not going to be possible if you click on snap to grid, because it will automatically jump to one block. So these all are the feature what you get with designer. It improves, and then you can save as second preset, like this is my training room preset. Yeah. So save, and now you got second preset with training room. So I will say that's it. That's all about it in terms of designer software and IMX Room. If you guys are having any question about IMX Room, which is just triggering you to understand more about this software, feel free to ask. We are going to be here for next 10-15 minutes to answer your questions, and then we will we'll wrap up this session. Yeah. So thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed this demo and it was informative. Feel free to contact. Yeah. Let's move to the Q&A session.
Thank you, Ritin. The session was very informative. There is still one more session for the SystemsOn asset management software. So I'll just quickly take you through that. So we'll play a short video on the SystemsOn introductions and come back fast.
SystemsOn audio asset management software by Shure makes it simple to manage large-scale or mission-critical deployments of Shure audio hardware from one central platform in corporate and higher education settings. SystemsOn eliminates the need to physically check equipment room by room before meetings. You can instantly view the status of the Shure hardware in every room in your facility from a laptop, tablet, or smartphone. With SystemsOn, you can confirm that microphones are in their chargers and view their charge level without visiting the room. While meetings are in progress, you can check battery levels to verify whether mics will last through the meeting or if attention is required sooner. Instead of getting a call from a frustrated user about a dead battery, you can make the change when it's convenient for them and for you. Installed on your server, SystemsOn lets you monitor and control all of the networked Shure devices across your building or campus, even if they're on different subnets. While you're busy with other tasks, SystemsOn constantly monitors key metrics for all connected devices. When it detects a low battery level or a missing device, it notifies you via email or text message so that the issue can be addressed before it becomes critical. If audio or mute adjustments are required, SystemsOn lets you make those changes immediately, so users don't have to wait for you to get to the room. If a Microflex wireless transmitter goes missing or has a low battery, you can remotely link a replacement transmitter at your desk to the access point in any room on the network and deliver it ready to use. SystemsOn lets you organize your Shure hardware logically by room, building, or campus, saving time when attention is required. You can assign team members responsibility for different rooms or give them customized roles. Team members can sign in with their existing network credentials. Shure SystemsOn audio asset management software is compatible with many Shure audio products used in enterprise, education, and mission-critical applications. With SystemsOn, you can be confident that the audio equipment across your network will always be ready to perform. SystemsOn helps you to detect problems before they become critical and provides you the ability to monitor and control Shure hardware devices from one central location. To find out more about SystemsOn and how to obtain licenses, please contact your Shure Systems integrator or visit Shure online.
Okay, so let's begin with the basics of SystemsOn and what it does. So SystemsOn is a server-based software solution that actually requires a server to work on, and it helps to monitor and manage devices that are in remote locations. So it is ideal for critical rooms and larger installations of Shure products to have this particular software in play, because the software monitors Shure devices across the network. It logs system events, and it even alerts users over text or email for time-sensitive and critical issues about their audio system. So SystemsOn actually eliminates the need to physically walk to each and every room in order to check an equipment. So it has a responsive user interface accessed in a web browser, which allows technicians and help desk specialists to locate and troubleshoot devices. So it also adjusts audio levels and muting, and it also monitors wireless microphone stability from a remote location. So SystemsOn actually makes the AV IT administrator's life a lot easier and more efficient. So best of all, you can access the SystemsOn from a computer, tablet, or a mobile device. So the target customers or the customers that would benefit from a SystemsOn solution is one, the IT or the AV manager. Second is the on-site support team, the IT help desk associates, and also system integrators that offer managed service to end users. So for AV IT managers, the SystemsOn will work as a software platform that will continuously monitor Shure audio systems, on behalf of the manager themselves. And it provides real-time troubleshooting capabilities for battery life, audio levels, and RF spectrum status, very proactively. And it ensures that every microphone is ready for use. For system integrators, the SystemsOn will provide the same benefits, but also it'll act as an additional tool to support their service contract. So, they can have multiple service contracts in place, and they can service more than one customers without the need of constant monitoring. And it can, they can also provide immediate attention as and when required. So who are the SystemsOn primary target markets? So they are mainly audiovisual professionals that work in corporates or higher education sectors. It's not limited to the same. It is also applicable to other sectors like government or any other large installation of Shure equipments are there. You can recommend Shure SystemsOn solution. What does a SystemsOn installation look like? Whether you have one building or multiple buildings within a particular campus. Say, for example, the example shown in this slide. The SystemsOn can be installed on a central server that can monitor and manage the multiple devices across different subnets, as you see here. So SystemsOn supports a variety of Shure products, including the MXA910, the IntelliMix P300, the NE USB Matrix, the Microflex wireless system, the SCM820 automatic mixer, and the ULXD wireless system. So we are going to discuss about the UI flow of the SystemsOn. So after logging into SystemsOn, the first thing that you'll be seeing is the dashboard or the home page. So it gives an insight into what wireless devices are being in use and if there are any low battery warning statuses or anything. So it also has an inventory summary section which shows you that if there are any issues with your wireless or wired devices. For example, if a wired device, say it gets disconnected from the network or the wireless devices goes out of range, so this can provide you with the alert proactively. The SystemsOn notifications, you can also utilize the SystemsOn notification screens to get like emails or texts. And any devices that has been offline for more than a few minutes is noted as missing. And you can also set up low battery warnings because it has a customized threshold setting. And you can set notifications about remaining battery time for each and every equipment. Moving on to SystemsOn locations. The screen, this particular screen is all about the device organization. So it helps you map your Shure systems to your physical rooms. And this is also there to get you more details about the audio activity, the mute status and the activity status, also the battery levels. Moving on to the users screen of SystemsOn. So in this particular screen, you can set up your SystemsOn users with their username and passwords. And you can have the option of assigning them in a preferred language like Spanish or simplified Chinese or German, etc., etc. And you can also assign them with a role and a particular permission. So The best scenario is that you can add as many users as you wish. And, the SystemsOn can display information relevant to only a particular user and the user's privileges. And also based on their location subscriptions, which is actually configured in this session. So when you're subscribing to a particular location, the user has access to those devices and tools that are necessary to manage that particular devices. Moving on to SystemsOn roles and permissions. The roles and permissions provide a more granular way to manage users. So you can either use pre-built roles like administrator or technician, or have a customized user. This particular user can have like unique permissions to their role. So this ensures that the software, actually remains very secure by limiting administrative rights to a select few. And it also ensures that that everyone has access that is required for them to maintain and exceed the client needs. So there is also a tip that we can offer, that you can integrate with your LDAP server, integrate SystemsOn with your LDAP server, so that you can add users from your organization's central database. Moving on to SystemsOn integrations, the integration menu is actually used, during initial setup, and you can integrate LDAP user directories and enable emails and text message notifications. So make sure that if the user wants to utilize the text message notification facility, they'll have to sign up with a third-party application called Twilio, which is shown here. And Twilio will help you purchase a phone number to receive text or SystemsOn at a very small fee. So be sure to visit twilio.com for more details regarding that subject. And finally, there is the SystemsOn event log. So you can have the time-stamped event log by keeping track of events such as different SystemsOn users logging in, or the email or test notifications that are sent proactively, or the devices that are coming online or offline. So it can even track events as far as 1 year back. And last but not the least, the SystemsOn online help is also available, which offers you contextual online help that will actually change, depending on the screen that you have logged in. And you can also access the user guide centrally from here. So we'll play a short video on how to conduct a customer demonstration and come back fast.
Hi, this is the SystemsOn software demo module, and here we're going to show you how we would recommend doing a demonstration to a potential customer for SystemsOn. Let's get started. After logging into SystemsOn, the first thing that you'll see is the dashboard. This gives you one central place to see what's going on with your inventory. On the left, you can see wireless microphones in use, so you can see which wireless mics need the most attention. And on the right, you have the inventory summary, which shows you if there's any issues with your Shure devices. So the two issues that SystemsOn currently identifies are devices missing, which is when a device has been seen as offline for more than a couple minutes, such as if the device fell off the network or if someone accidentally walked out of the room with a transmitter. And the second notification is about low batteries. So if your wireless microphones have low batteries, you can get a text or an email about that event as well. So on this Settings Notifications page, you can set up if you want text or email alerts about either of those critical events. As discussed earlier, this is why it's important, and I want to re-emphasize it, but it's all about peace of mind. So whether you have a large deployment in a university or corporate campus, or just have a few important rooms like a boardroom, SystemsOn gives users peace of mind, because finding out about audio problems in a room via a service desk ticket or an email from a frustrated end user is already too late. Now we're going to move on to the All Devices page, and this is where you can discover Shure devices that are on the same subnet, or you can add cross-subnet devices by their IP address. Again, that comes into the large-scale install. You can monitor and control devices cross-subnets in several rooms or buildings, all from one central tool. You can also organize these devices into locations that you create, and then drill into the location for more details. So now I'm going to open a location and I can see things like audio activity, mute and active status, and battery levels. Next, we're going to move on to the users page. This is where you can create different SystemsOn user accounts and really tailor your organization to different roles and permissions. So if you have various members of your AV or IT staff that need different levels of access to SystemsOn and need to monitor and control different rooms, you can set those up from SystemsOn. You can also integrate this with LDAP, which is your existing user directory, and be able to use those passwords for enhanced security. Lastly, we're going to move on to the event log, and this is where you can see critical device events and see when different SystemsOn users have signed in to have a track record, and again for added security. You can also export this log and see environment information, like the different firmware versions that your devices are on, and have all of your events in an easy-to-read CSV file that you can send to support if needed. In summary, in just a few minutes, you can demo SystemsOn to a potential customer to start the conversation about the benefits of monitoring and managing Shure hardware.
I hope the video was very informative. We would request you to try SystemsOn for free to understand the complete functionality. We offer a 90-day trial license to the end user to test and evaluate SystemsOn. So during this particular period, all features and tools are fully functional. To continue using the software after 90 days, you'll need to purchase a license plan and apply it from the license page. So a short word of caution, the customer's license start day is the day that you'll enter on the software order form. So please plan accordingly. So lastly, we want to mention that any SystemsOn software versions released during the term length are included within the purchase. So this concludes the webinar on the software solution. And thank you for your patience. And we would request you to register on http shure-shure.talentlms.com. So the Shure Audio Institute is an education and network platform for Shure customers, including system integrators, consultants, music retailers, engineers and musicians. So if you're looking to advance your career, improve your knowledge, or keep your team and staff up to date, please get certified by Shure Audio Institute, as it offers a variety of online trainings for sales, technical, and general audio. You can even select the preferred course available in your preferred language, and the certifications are self-paced. So in case of any support or queries that you may have, please feel free to reach support_Miyasa at shure.com. We thank you for your patience. Thank you.